All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for March Comes In Like a Lion, Season 1, Episode 16. Okay.
All right.
So Shimada
won.
Shimada has won a match against Goto. Ninth done. And, you know, this is a big deal. So they're 2 out of 3 match. Kind of a little... contest here.
So they still need to do the tiebreaker.
They need to do the tiebreaker. And I like that they're giving him this concurrent storyline with the whole thing regarding Rei and Kyoko and all of them. So we could get some more focus with that. And Harunobu,
awesome.
you know, Nikaido and all that. He's being like, yeah, you can do this. Yeah,
that's right.
I believe in you.
That's right.
And that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they saw Kyoko though.
They saw Kyoko. And it sort of spoiled the victory because, you know, not only did he come out looking like he had aged 10 or 20 years, but but then he sees the opponent that he defeated, and with some gorgeous, much younger lady when he is already married. And it's like...
Well, I think there's also the awkward aspect of like, I wasn't supposed to see that, basically.
Sure.
Because in a lot of ways, it's Goto's life. Like, probably doesn't care really at all about that. But it's kind of a thing of like, oh, he's married. Oh, this is awkward. And then Harunobu has he's so innocent, he doesn't even realize no idea what's going on.
That was wonderful. I love that so much.
But what's important here is that if they ever see Kyoko with Rei in the future, they'll know, wait a minute, what's the... And then also we have Rei and his teacher, and the whole thing of
Rei actually being behind on his
actually having
everything,
having to do a lot of catch-up work. And it's like, ooh, bummer. Ooh.
Yes. But this episode, maybe the third and final match between Goto and Shimada.
Yeah, possibly we could get to the workshop, potentially maybe see them strategizing together with the workshop that Shimada is a part of with Harunobu and them. We could see the wholesome house again, maybe?
Yes, the crap, I forgot again. Yes, the wholesome house.
But looking forward to seeing how Rei could potentially end up sorting things out schedule-wise, if he really works hard at getting this all set up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really giving a lot of focus to Shimada and his little mini story with regards to this
Goto
tournament here and with Goto. So yeah, be really interesting. Also, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone, we're going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. I gotta say, I love the first opening, and I say this over and over again, but this opening actually gets me excited to watch the show, whereas the first one reminded me about the pain that this show brings up so much.
Whereas this one's like hopeful and stuff.
Well, it's not even that it's hopeful. Like it's hopeful, yes, but it's like
it's also like bright and cheerful.
Yes, it's cheerful. There's an enjoyment. Yeah. There's a moment in the moment pleasure that you can tell that is being had, and so much about this story is tied to the past that having anything be truly present is like wow. I wonder if there's almost a meta commentary that can be made there about how Shogi is something that you have to think ahead in order to do well in Shogi, which is an opposite of how much Rei's focus has been in the past.
Sure.
Making it basically the perfect distraction.
Here it comes.
Yep.
Every single dang time.
Oh, I just love that it's Momo. Yeah. Nathan. Ganbatte. Oh. Yeah. Oh, dang! Yes, ASAP. Mmm.
Ah.
What is a bird? Oh my gosh.
They do not look like they're high schoolers.
Right.
Second year.
Indeed.
What?
How rude! Uh-oh.
It's going to smell.
Wait a minute.
That smells really good.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Natural perm on his hair. You're a nice guy. Welcome to the club! What? Oh my god. Aww, he's moved by it. Certain circumstances. Yes. Indeed. Oh, he's actually willing to ask for help.
By the power of my mustache.
Oh my god, I love it. You look old now. Ah! Shots fired back. Oh my gosh.
No, he needs to join the literature club or the light music club.
Oh my gosh.
Aww.
Oh.
It's the power of Nakama.
It is. It really is. And mustaches. Oh,
hint,
wait.
Hint, spend more time at the Kawamotos.
Yep. Yes!
That's
yes!
right.
Oh!
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That simple relationship between the two is something that he understands perfectly. Good! Oh!
Yes! Thank you!
Yes! Oh!
Uh-huh.
We're gonna see them again, and it's gonna be in a whole new light, Jacob. Yes. Indeed.
Awesome.
Wow, good. Showing the color shift and that he's looking at the world in a whole new way. There's a lot of bright things. It's
probably
bustling.
still going strong.
Oh. Was this a short match? Goto won.
Dang.
That smug look.
Mm-hmm.
Cold wind. Yeah.
Wait, he did? Dang.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
I like this music.
Wow.
All right.
I'm so happy for him. Oh, he really does sound tired.
Yeah.
That's just snot. Yes, that's all it is. Oh, dang. Right? The White Death. There's no such thing as too honest. Okay.
Hey!
Whoa! Awesome!
That's fantastic.
Oh.
Whoa.
Dang. Okay.
7 matches. That's ridiculous.
Right. Hey. Shimada might end up becoming his hero now.
Yeah. Then maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Did Ray did he say something or
No. No, he's thinking about what to say. I think he's just feeling the weight of his first exchange. Oh, yeah.
Please train me.
Teach me. Oh, the little blush in his eyes, and he knew this was coming, so he pushed him out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Okay.
How did you know?
I love how they're handling this like a love confession.
Right, yeah. Look at Botero being all like, what? The two people I care about most in the world. What's
going on?
What are you doing? Ah! No. No, the cats! Okay, good. He's got them. Hey.
Aww.
Cool.
Awesome.
Oh! Inari sushi!
That seems like they're basically saying, we want the cheaper stuff like that.
Yeah. It's the deep fried part, I think, primarily. Oh!
Yes.
Yeah, that's all bullcrap. Yes. This is simple. Yes.
Pout face.
He's trying to find the workshop.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm telling you, Shimada's voice actor, I know who it is. It's killing me. Is this... Oh, okay, it is Shimada's home. Okay. Right, being the new person. The dark cloud coming off of him. No. No. This musical theme for him is just...
Yeah.
He's in his edgy phase, that's all.
Yep.
Oof. Dang. Cool. Cool. My question... I'm going to keep track of this, but... Right. My question is, if no one's keeping track of the moves, how do they analyze the entire game? You know what I mean?
Maybe they just have like a really good
memory
for this sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's got to be it. But that makes it even more impressive that they're able to analyze the games. Maybe they have cameras that a cheerful central rook. Apparently lost. Oh my god, this voice. Ray! What is this wholesome energy? Oh! 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 That is amazing. Oh! Dignified? Let's eat some food.
But see, I'm the Grandmaster here, so, you know.
Right? Oh my gosh. Well, he had a really stressful match recently.
Such bright colors.
Right. No pressure from that. None at all.
Not at all.
None.
Oh my god. You'd think they were arguing over best girl or something.
Well, it's funny because I'm...
Let's play.
Yeah. Too late. Oh. Are they going to play the game in their minds right here?
I think so. Did that
or they just
drown?
realize? Yeah. Oh my god, they have to know. They have to know the and they're not going to know if it's come back up while they're in the bookstore here.
Exactly. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
The bird's gone by then.
But you see this passionate side of Kiriyama coming out about something so trivial.
Yeah.
That means in a lot of ways that the passion is bubbling over from other areas and bleeding into just the simplest and most...
the little aspects of his life and everything, yeah.
And the only reason that was the case in a lot of ways was because of how fired up they got about their stances on reactive versus proactive play in regards to Shogi.
Right.
Which means that... like, this workshop is already doing wonders for Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I think the main thing about it is it might not even be the Shogi. It might just be the fact that he's engaging with other people.
It could be, yeah.
Like, here's a crazy thought, right? There's not much insane, I would say, there's not much heavy emphasis I would put on the whole introvert versus extrovert thing. But what if Ray was a dysfunctional wounded extrovert and he needs a lot of...
well, I could see that, but I would say, given that Ray's circumstances are so extreme with how he cuts himself off from people, it almost doesn't matter whether he's an extrovert or an introvert.
I agree, you're right,
because,
you're right,
you know, that's just like either one would be starved in his situation.
Either one would be starved, yes. Human connection is human connection. Yeah. Doesn't matter, you know, where you are on that spectrum.
Right.
You need it on some measure. Wow.
Okay.
That was a very, very cool, in a lot of ways, fast-paced episode.
Yeah, like the whole stuff with the Burner Club went over like very quickly.
Noguchi is an amazing mustache man, and I love how they poked fun completely at the whole thing of, yes, he is a second year in high school, so he's like 16 or maybe 17.
And he has a mustache that Ron Swanson would be proud of. Yeah,
beautiful,
absolutely incredible.
And he wanted that mustache to be that way. He shaved off the rest of this to make sure that this was perfectly
that's right,
defined and glorious.
And we got a lot of really good talks between Ray and the teacher Hayashida. Exactly. And thankfully, like he gave his awesome thing of, if you don't depend on other people, they will never depend on you, which is amazing.
And like, you were right. He immediately thought of the Kawamotos.
Yes, because we do know it's Kawamotos now.
Yes, we do.
But like that, there was like, okay, that was all so great and so amazing. And the bit that we saw of the Kawamotos is they're preparing for whatever this thing was, this, you know, girls festival thing, and they're all, you know, freaking out over Inari sushi and whatnot, and
and Hina's designs.
Yeah, exactly.
She's been getting better and better.
The way they've been really saving money by getting plain boxes and then, you know, designing paper really nicely so that way they can put that on the boxes and stuff. It's like, okay,
They went through just so many plot points covering so many different characters in different settings and stuff like that. In fact, I think the only character that they really didn't cover something on was Kyoko this episode.
Which is totally fine.
Which is fine because we've been giving her a lot of focus recently.
Especially with the last episode and her very nature as a hurricane, right? So, you know, it shouldn't be consistent.
And I guess maybe not the chairman of the Shogi Association. Sure. But other than that, like, this covered so much. So
Shimada won.
Shimada actually won.
He actually won. Like, that was so surprising. I thought for sure that he had lost, and then they're like, no. He actually won. And now it's just like...
Right. They subverted our expectations by having the person that was not still thinking about the match be the one that lost. Because generally, when you have these kinds of sport matches or something like that, the one who's tired looks almost like struck with like
right. I would think
like
that
emotion at the field still is still thinking about what they could have done better. Right. But if anything, it's that no, the winner was the one that didn't make any mistakes. So they exhausted more mental energy, which means that they're still there. Like, I did it. Like still kind of shook that they won, which I think is a really cool, really cool twist on that whole trope.
Yes, yeah, that was awesome. And everything they did there was great. I love how they handled Rei asking about the workshop, and that it was basically like a high school love confession scene where Nikaido was asked to leave, and then they have the time there together and no one's saying anything, and then the pause, and Rei starts to blush
at the same time.
They speak at the same time, and then they start laughing and stuff.
And the other continues to blush.
Exactly. Yeah, like that was great.
And then Harunobu comes back right after he's missed it. He's like,
what's going on? Yeah, what happened? That was awesome. I love that.
Just we're covering everything, I would say, lightly, really quickly, or then we'll go in depth into more things. But then we went into Rei actually like going and finding the workshop, getting to play with them there, meeting our new boy, what's his name, Morio Shigeta. I'm not 100% sure, but I think actually I think Shimada gave him the nickname Shigeo. I'm not sure, because it's kind of the Morio and the Shigeta. So Shigeo. Yeah. And it's funny because I was thinking like, Kageyama, Mob Psycho. And I was just like, wait a minute, is his name actually the same? And then we went back and checked on it. It was like, no, his name is different. But maybe there's some similarities there in that. But we have varying different personalities at this table, showcased by the way they respond to a debate on, I would say, more
something
proactive,
so trivial,
or something super trivial, I'd say, from the standpoint of like character drama. But it's a shogi philosophy with regards to how to handle your rooks, and basically like making moves that would like block your bishop's ability to influence the board. And it's like, okay, I can kind of track on the idea of playing for the long game versus playing more proactively, versus reactively. And I'm like, okay, I understand that kind of, but I love the idea that they're so passionate in their belief that this is empirically the right move to do at this stage in the game. The other person's like, no, you're empirically wrong. And this is actually...
And none of them think to ask the expert who is literally going to be challenging the super grand mega ultra champion.
Dan, who like, just beat a 9th Dan and is about to face Soya, like the white god, the god of shogi, and he's just like, oh, can I, like, Shimada's so exhausted, so tired of everything there. He's not got that energy to bring into their like debate, and it's like, oh, what do you want, Shimada?
You know what that whole bit reminded me of?
What's that?
It reminded me of our debate on whether the Aincrad arc of SAO was a 6 or a 7.
Oh, right.
And just talking about it for hours and hours, and it's just like, is it that important? No. But
for some reason, that passion, and I would say, can be utilized for even the most trivial of things.
Yes.
Shows, I would say, even though there's a lack of maturity in the topic of content, maybe, what it shows, I would say, is that each of these characters has a lot of passion to give, and to, I would say, utilize. If passion is like your mana bar, Rei's
has been low recently.
Rei's has been low because his recharge rate was very low. Yes,
right, exactly.
And I think being with the Burner Club and realizing how wholesome they are, in a lot of ways, they felt like a scientific body improvement club.
They did,
the fact that he had this mustache, I'm Armstrong, I'm talking about my mustache,
and the whole thing of like, wait, you need help? We would be
absolutely. We're more than happy. I know he wasn't talking like that, Noguchi, but I love the idea of, we bring in some caricatures, or specifically a caricature, for the express purpose of letting Kiriyama know that there are people out there that are happy to give of themselves and to be there to assist you and to I would say just be a support for someone, because there's a lot of joy to be found in that.
Exactly. And one of the best things you can do for those people is to let them do that.
Let them help you.
Yeah.
And this is something that I like really cool about it, is that there's no prior connection to Rei.
Nope.
None of them know anything. In a lot of ways, Hayashida kind of mitigates it by him being a teacher and maybe having a little bit of a, hey, would it be okay if,
but even then, like, they were kind of totally ignoring him once he started, like, once Rei started talking and
Right. If anything, they chastise a little bit of the way that he requested it. They basically like, hey, you need to work on the way you talk, otherwise you won't be getting any promotions, old man. Basically, like because he had to throw in that little thing of, but you look so old, Noguchi, and then he's like, well, you have to watch the way you talk, otherwise you won't be getting any promotions. What I like there was there's that subtle banter where you understand that yes, Hayashida is the teacher, but in terms of the power dynamic of the trade that's about to be being made here,
the students have the power.
The students have the power in this case. Hayashida is being like, please, would you
help out?
Would you be so kind as to help out? But I think it was because Rei specifically, this is the thing that's very important, Rei asked for help. We can probably count on the number of times Rei has asked for help, or 0 times in the show.
I think this is basically the first time he's ever asked for help.
And the other thing was, this was right before he then asked if he could join the workshop. I think that is very intentional. It's very, very specific as the reason why it unlocked as...
Right.
Because it was basically another form of him asking for help.
Right. It was a concrete forcing function that made it so that he had to ask for help. Like, and there wasn't really any choice in the matter. And then because of that, then he's like, oh, wait. Asking for help, that's something that I can do. Like,
exactly.
If I were to think of a way to make this episode any more just perfect and wonderful than it was, it would simply be to have Rei go over to the wholesome house and see the Kawamotos and all that stuff, and to progress basically that which they set up this episode of asking for help.
This episode would be even more packed at that point.
Right.
Oh my god.
But they did so much this episode, they didn't need to do that. But I'm so excited for when they do that and they take that into account in the future.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
And it's interesting because in the prior discussion of the episode, I was talking about how Shogi has a lot of foresight that is required in order to be skilled at it. In order to be really good at Shogi, especially given that these matches can take like 2+ hours, which is ridiculous, by the way. I don't know what high-level chess matches in terms of time take, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot less than that. In a lot of ways, I think that it's like half that at least. I don't know for certain, but what is interesting about that is that means that in general, like we saw with the amount of moves that are generally taken, there's a lot of stuff that's done in the beginning that is thinking like 30 moves ahead in terms of like overall defensive structure, like they talked about in this episode, like certain strategies specifically with rooks just to set up for future game plans and stuff. That's a perfect thing for Rei to think about the future and not the past. Now, them all getting hung up on this strategy idea with their rooks and how to use, what was it, their I guess their silvers
and the 3G versus 4G silver. Or
I think that was a take. Like that was a move for silver. I think requires that's talking about generals
that's being moved.
Right. Because there's silver and gold, so I think it's silver general, but I'm not sure. The thing I like about that is that's talk about something trivial to us, and I would say also to the character drama. But if you look at it structurally, what it is it's something that is I don't know, it's something it's a form of foresight. It's thinking about the future. It's like, well, the reason why this move is important is because it has future benefits in these specific areas.
Right.
That's not the past. And the amount of passion that they displayed, specifically in Rei, I know the other boys did as well, but specifically in Rei, despite all of the stuff that's gone on in his life that we've seen through the story here, is wonderful, because I think it begs the question of what we were discussing earlier, is how much of that comes from his own internal world, from the interactions with these people that are stirring that up within him, from his just passion for Shogi as a thing itself, or also as a healing, as a mechanism for helping him deal with his past by focusing his passion on something that is positive, something that is in the moment, or just
focusing his passion in general,
right?
Because letting it exist, like he hasn't exactly led a life of passion up till this point.
It's something that like we've talked about with a lot of people, right? Is some people say like, how do you stir up your passion? How do you get passionate? And people see passion, I think, as almost this like this fuel, this almost this currency or something.
Yeah, because it definitely is helpful,
right? But it can come from the most innocuous of things. Like it can come out
absolutely.
of the most innocuous of things sometimes,
right? And that it's oftentimes it's the reason that it comes from the most innocuous of things is because of the mindset and the way that you choose to live life rather than the specific environmental stuff, because there will always be environmental things that can stir up passion, right? But the fact that Ray, like, there was all these passionate things happening with Ray in the one episode, that's no accident, right?
No.
With the way he was before, there was no passion there, right? He was just wasting away.
Or he was trying to hold on desperately to the train and make sure he didn't fall off for the purpose of survival.
Sure, but even then, he was half-heartedly holding on.
Right. He was scared of the pain of losing.
Right. He was choosing to not decide.
Right. He was trying to exist in the middle ground so that he would avoid the two extremes that were, I would say, inconvenient for him and or scary to him, maybe.
Sure.
And now he's looking at people like Shimada, or Shimada specifically in this case, who is in some ways putting himself specifically into pain, for a goal of something.
Yeah, that whole thing he said of the, I wonder if I could ever play like you, where where it's the diving off a cliff, or something like that.
Yeah, he said diving off a cliff.
Yeah,
or something. Yeah.
That definitely paints a picture, right? And that's something where you have a very clear decision that you're making of what it is that you want and what you're going to go after.
Right.
Whereas Ray, I would say, at best, he's standing at the edge and doing nothing. At best.
Yeah.
And now he might actually be willing to take a leap.
Yeah, and having these people around him, I think, is also important. Just to add a little bit of what you're saying, I definitely do think that the way you think, the way you have a mindset, specifically in your life and stuff, is the truer source of passion. I think we can't discount, though, the effect the environment has had specifically with regards to Ray for building up his passion, because it was people outside of him that initially started in this episode of building up, I would say, the positive part that got him to run
environment,
and have the color around him change.
Environment is stronger than willpower.
Absolutely.
Both in the positive and the negative.
Yep.
And that's something that has been demonstrated with Ray very well, time and time again. And now it's starting to look like they might be turning it around, and Ray is putting himself in the good environments where he can, that can call him up to that better self.
And then now he's also thinking about how he can value those environments better, specifically with the Kawamotos, and
which means that he can then give back to the environments, which causes it to be an upward spiral rather than a downward spiral that he's been so used to.
I'm so happy.
Awesome to see.
And here's something that I think also might be vicariously something that. Let me pull back the word vicariously for a second. Something that might be subconsciously attractive to Ray with regards to Shimada. Shimada defeated Goto. Now, here's the thing. Goto, in what he represents, is rather simple.
Yeah.
For now.
Right.
It's very easy to understand the disdain that Ray has for Goto.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are some complexities when you bring Kyoko into the mix, but even then, specifically the relationship between Goto and Ray is rather simple.
Yep.
It's very easy to understand.
Enemies, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Shimada comes into the scene and defies the odds and beats Goto.
Right.
Now, Ray is shocked. Like, he was not expecting this. I think he dared to, like, believe in this guy. Like, yeah, absolutely. I think he has a chance. But remember how he treated Shimada in the past because of his pride, the disregard he had for him. Now he's looking at him also in a new way. And given the fact that he maybe in a lot of ways had so much of a negative self-focus in the past, he was unwilling to ask for help because he didn't feel like he deserved it. He then realizes, because of what Hayashida says, that actually asking people for help might be something that actually gives them some sort of fulfillment, gives them something.
Because if you think about it, you're basically in asking for help. You can't really ask for help and not have there be some aspect of humility to it, right? I'm sure there's ways to ask for help in a way that isn't humble.
Totally.
But the very nature of the act in and of itself is basically saying, there's a situation where I am not sufficient. The things that I have at my disposal is not sufficient. There needs to be more.
There's a revealing of your own inadequacy.
Exactly. There's a vulnerability there, but then there's also a lifting up of the other person by saying, but I think you can help. Because you can do things that I can't do.
One of the most brilliant things you'll learn when you go into kind of studying communication, and I would say it's not really like a psychology thing, but it kind of is that one of the most powerful things you can do when meeting someone for the first time is ask them for a very small favor after you've gone through a little bit of talking with them, just engaging in stuff with them. Because one of the things it does is it basically lets them know that you see them as valuable. You see something in them that you like, even if it's like, I'm talking about something really silly and simple. An example would be like, do you happen to have a pen on you? It'd really help if you had a pen. And they'd be like, oh yeah, sure. And you're like, don't worry, I'll give it right back. And they're like, they might even say, oh, just keep it. What you basically did right there was you just set them up to be awesome. You're basically like, hey, would you like to be awesome for a split second by doing this really small thing? And they go,
right, it doesn't really have any cost to you.
No, almost none at all.
And
but this is something even more, where Ray, I think, maybe realized in a lot of ways that being vulnerable and asking for help with something like this here, basically like, can I go to the workshop? Will you let me go to that as well? Is not just saying, I want to be as good as you so that I can beat people like Goto. It's saying, I see something in you that maybe I should have seen before.
Sure.
Specifically with how he disregarded Shimada. He was kind of in a way apologizing for that by saying, I was wrong. I misjudged you. I misjudged you completely.
Right.
And by taking this vulnerable stance and stuff, he's like saying, yes, I'm willing to let you reject me also as well. But if you want to be awesome as well, I'm setting you up for that as well. But the coolest part about it is Shimada was setting this all up. So once Harunobu leaves the room, he's like, I'm going to say the exact same thing at the same time.
Right.
And he laughs about it. Because it's like, wow, like awesome. In a way he was taking a little bit of a risk, but Ray was in the perfect place to be also initiating at that exact time. So
because if you remember, Shimada said, no, he needs to ask us.
Exactly.
Right. And here he broke that rule. He broke that rule. And it was probably one of those things where he's like, I'll just ask him, it'll be fine, and no pressure that way. It's like, it'll still be his decision kind of a thing.
Sure.
And then he's like, oh, nope, but Ray asked me. All right, cool. Awesome. Great. This is wonderful.
I just love how we had seen him so exhausted, so tired. The reporters, the journalists, the game analysts and all them came in, and he's giving his talk on the whole thing about how he's not really prepared for Soya. He's like, this is going to be a lot. But Ray makes him laugh. Just brings out this kind of just kind of almost him laughing at the not the silliness of it, but the wow, that happened,
right.
What are the odds? All right, great. Well, there you go. I think that there's an acknowledgement of maybe Ray being in the perfect place, even though he might have been just by breaking his rule and asking him himself, saying like, well, I don't know if Ray's ever going to be in the perfect place, so I'm going to give him a little bit of help.
Give him the opportunity.
And he didn't even need to.
Yep.
So it's
great episode.
It's great. And then the duck thing is absolutely silly. It's great comedy, but again, I see it as an example of where that environmental passion...
Exactly. It stems to other things that they don't actually have passion about.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It snowballs. It builds. It's something...
It bleeds into every aspect of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we've seen so much of him walking through environmental, like... I would say mental
Snow,
visions
wind,
and stuff.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, where it's stuff that, isn't existing in reality, but just shows how much he feels the environment is pressing down upon him. And now he's become so much in a positive relationship with his environment that he's seeing cool things in it that just suddenly spark his interest. And
let's go run to the bookstore and try and look up what kind of bird that was. So we can see how long it can breathe hold its breath underwater.
I'm a little bit confused about that because I think what they're also insinuating is maybe also these kids don't have internet-enabled cell phones. Because if they did, especially the rich kid Harunobu, he would be like, hold on. yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't have taken the picture at that point.
Right, because it's underwater.
It's underwater. But... That's a good point.
Who knows?
Yeah. But
although I think the moment wouldn't have been quite as sweet if they were just like,
true.
oh,
that
and they both just silently were at their phones, just. I think I got it. Yeah.
I mean, they could be yelling about like, wait, what's a good search thing to
use? Bling? No, not Bling. That one's terrible. What? Maybe Moogle.
Maybe Goggle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But this is a good episode. It was surprisingly tight. There's a couple things I don't think we really touched on too much. I think the Hina being very much frustrated at the idea of the grandpa saying that there's a lot of pride here, and she's just like, that pride stuff, like that's bullcrap. Like I'm gonna go over there and take this Inari sushi and stuff it in his stupid face, like I love how maybe Hina's insight is better than the grandpa's insight in some ways, even though the grandpa is still like he's aware of certain things that maybe she isn't. But I love how Hina's
it's the idea that kind of stuff can't be forced. I feel like it's another example of the whole thing of Shimada saying we can't ask him to join the club, right?
Exactly.
Or the workshop. It has to be something that Ray comes to a decision for himself in order for it to be truly his decision. Otherwise,
exactly.
Like if you try and force someone to do something, they'll instinctively push back against it.
Right.
And thankfully, given what Hayashida said to Ray, which is probably my favorite part about this episode, other than the fact that we got to see the Kawamotos again, Ray might actually, he doesn't need to be convinced anymore.
Yeah. I just think though that awesome. Hina's rejection of the whole older logic here is it was one of the flawless examples of her characterization that we've seen up until this point, just made realized in a form of passion, I would say. It was just something where I realized that while Ray has not been optimally engaging with the Kawamotos, I don't think it's realistic to expect optimal displays of affection from the Kawamotos as well. If anything, the grandpa being like, we have to do this optimally. You have to understand that there's some other subtle things at work here. And she's just basically saying, screw the subtleties. I don't care about that. I care about him, and I want to show that I care by giving him some freaking sushi. And I'm just like, yes. Be you. Be free. Don't be concerned about the what ifs and the have whatevers. Just
no interdimensional whatevers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see you grit those teeth. Whatever is the one thing you decide for yourself, that becomes the truth of your universe.
I just love when passion overrides a person's sensibilities in a way that has so much wholesome foundations.
Right, exactly. Where there's so
much foundational
there's no ulterior motives or anything. It's just simply,
let me love you. Yeah. And now that can come off a little creepy sometimes if it's done the wrong way.
But the thing is that there's a big distinction. Okay?
Yes, there is.
Because the reason that you even have to make that like you even feel the need to make that clarification is because there's an idea that when people talk about love, they're talking about something that's selfish as opposed to something that's selfless. Yes. And the thing is that with Hina in that situation, she was not at all thinking about wanting to mother Rei or anything like that. It was simply that he's not in a good place right now, and I really want him to be able to enjoy the happiness and the fun that we are able to have because of this celebration, because he needs that in his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
and I love how it's all set on the backdrop of them just like drooling over the idea of like deep fried sushi. The stuff Akari was talking about, I'm like, what's that? That looks really good.
That's like we're gonna go into some anime food montages right here, and it's gonna be sexy, right?
But Momo and Hina are like, no, deep fried sushi. It's just it's so good. I love it.
That was great.
But yeah, guys, fantastic episode. March comes in like a lion. Incredible show. So y'all, if you want to see the next episode's reaction to this wonderful show, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get early access there. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us and have these kind of minor discussions like that, or just hang out in general, talk about whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.